International this year. In order to fully implement the theme requires teamwork. So Rotary International, the district, and our clubs all working together while maintaining our independence at the club level and serving your community's unique needs. District 5150 Governor, along with the district leadership, is your link to the Rotary International and the district's resources. And I think that's really important to keep in mind. Today, it is my pleasure to introduce to you District Governor Leah Lambrecht. And Leah Lambrecht is a member of the Rotary Club of Central Marin. She's a daughter of a past district governor in Florida, and you'll hear more about that today. She served 25 years as a management consultant, providing strategic planning, project management, and leadership development services to Fortune 500 companies. Professionally, she owns her own writing and editing business, and Leah was married last June to Dr. Bill Lambrecht, a member of the Rotary Club of Mill Valley as well. They reside in Mill Valley and enjoy hiking, traveling, and music. Leah's passion is inspiring other people to pursue actions to improve the quality of life in this world. During her year as district governor, she is asking all the clubs in our district to focus on the theme of peace. That is what she is here to talk to you about. Please give a warm welcome to your district governor, Leah Lambrecht.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Sit down. So I travel with my stool, and I like to come out from behind the podium and be with everybody. Can you all hear me okay? Yeah? Okay. It's really my honor to be here today, President Mike, guests, fellow Rotarians. Thank you so much for having me here, and I'm looking forward to talking with you today about a topic that is very close to my heart, the topic of peace. I'm here as your district governor, but I am here largely because of my stepfather, Steve Lane, who has been a Rotarian for 61 years and is a past district governor in Boca Raton, Florida. In fact, I just learned that he was a classmate of Dick Rohrbacher's, so
really?
So interesting coincidence. 40 years ago, something significant happened to my dad, and I'd like to share that story with you. The day was May 10th, 1975, and my dad was working for President Nixon in Washington, D.C. He was Director of Public Affairs for the Department of Agriculture. It was a beautiful, bright, sunny spring day, and the day had actually been designated as Human Kindness Day. Stevie Wonder was doing a concert at the Washington Mall, and a crowd of 125,000 people had gathered to celebrate. My dad, after spending the morning working at his office, decided to head home, taking his familiar path, walking from his office to his apartment along Constitution Avenue, enjoying the sound of the music and the crowd as he walked. But it was not a day like every other day, because something happened. Suddenly, from out of nowhere, without any warning, someone jumped him from behind, forcefully grabbed his neck, and brutally stabbed him in the eye. The attacker fled immediately. My dad, dazed, stood there, blood dripping down his cheek, and he cried out to the people around him for help, and no one, not one single person, came to his aid. So he covered his eye and he walked alone to a first aid station, from which they rushed him immediately to George Washington Hospital. The surgeons operated, but the stab was too deep and they could not save his eye. Now, moments after he learned that he would lose the sight of his eye, reporters streamed into his hospital room And one of them held a microphone right up to his face and said, "How do you feel about the person who did this to you?" My dad leaned back in his hospital bed, bandages around his face. And then after pausing for a moment, he leaned forward and spoke into the microphone. And he said, "I can feel only sorrow and sympathy for a person who felt so desperate as to be driven to such an act. And today, more than ever before, I realize that life is not just about me. Life is not just about me." You know, since that day, over the years, I have often thought about that single act of violence and my dad's peaceful and compassionate response to it. My dad is amazing with his glass eye that sparkles in the sunlight. He lives and breathes Rotary. He carries the message, service above self. Everywhere he goes, he tells people, life is not just about us. There are people in the world who need our help to turn away from violence, our help to eradicate conditions that lead to violence, and our help to bring peace to their countries, to their communities, and to their hearts. So it's been about 2.5 years now since I learned that I had been selected to serve as district governor. And of course, when I found out, I immediately ran to the phone and called my dad, expecting congratulations as a daughter would. But oh no, not my dad. My dad said, "Now, Leah, remember, this is not about you. This is an opportunity for you to focus people on the mission of Rotary, to eradicate conditions that lead to violence and to create peace, understanding, and goodwill." I said, "I know, Dad. I'll remember." And then he said, "Congratulations for opening the champagne." So, in any case, when it came time for me to plan the activities that we would work on together as Rotarians this year, I knew immediately that I would ask you and every club in the district to focus on the theme of peace. You see, it's the mission of Rotary International and the Rotary Foundation to improve worldwide understanding, goodwill, and peace through the improvement of health, the support of education, and the alleviation of poverty. And so to support that mission, I'm asking you and every club in our district to focus this year on the theme of peace. Specifically, I'm asking you to do 4 things. Number 1, I'm asking you to do some type of peace project. I don't care if it's a local project or contributing to an international project, but something that will help advance world peace. Secondly, I'm asking you to attend the World Peace Concert on Saturday, November 14th, and I really encourage you to buy your tickets today. If you need help doing it at the end of this meeting, I have my cell phone with me and my laptop in the car, and I'm happy to help you do that. You can easily go to the RotaryWorldPeaceConcert.com website, and it shows you a seating map. And you've now seen 2 of the artists who have been selected to attract young professionals from the Bay Area community into the concert. And between the performances, there will be a special presentation on the work of Rotary and the Rotary Foundation. So part of our goal is to let the world know about Rotary, who we are and what we do. The third goal is to attend the Rotary Peace Conference, which will be April 30th and May 1st at the Hotel Kabuki in downtown San Francisco. It's not going to be your ordinary conference. It will be a peace conference that brings outside speakers to talk specifically about the topic of peace. And rather than having Rotary clubs talk about their projects, that will be taking place in the House of Friendship in a separate ballroom. And in that ballroom, we'll have exhibits by Rotary clubs and also outside organizations. And we plan to use social media to aggressively market the conference and House of Friendship. And the House of Friendship will be open for free to the general public. So again, we're trying to draw people in to learn about peace and in the process learn about Rotary. And then the fourth goal is to make District 5150 a Rotary Peace Builder District. And we do that by supporting the Rotary Peace Center program, which sponsors Peace Fellows in a 2-year master's degree program at several prestigious universities around the world. And these are individuals who are really stepping up and saying that they want to dedicate their lives to peace building. And they end up going to work for organizations like the World Bank and UNICEF and going to the far corners of the world to develop peace. So those are the 4 goals. In 2015, 2016, as was said earlier, President Ravi Ravindran, who's from the country of Sri Lanka, has stated that the international theme for the year will be a gift to the world. And I think that is a wonderful, wonderful theme. As I reflected on that theme, I couldn't help thinking, what better gift can we give the world, really, than the gift of peace? So I have left a few items for you at your table. There's a little pamphlet with some photos on it of individuals from our district spreading peace around the world. And then inside is a summary of the 4 goals that I've just articulated. Also a list of some of our district leaders and their contact information. And on the back is a calendar of events. Also at your place is a little save the date card. On one side is the information on the Rotary Peace Concert on November 14th. And on the other side is the information about the Peace Conference in 2016. And then there are 2 pins. There's the international pin from President Ravi, Be a Gift to the World. And then there's my governor's pin, which is a little white peace dove. And now most governors, when they create their pins, they put the number of their district on it and the year that they were district governor. And I decided not to do that because I don't want you to wear this pin just this year. I want you to keep it and wear it long into the future. Any morning you wake up and feel like spreading a little Rotary peace, you can put on your little white peace dove pin. Because you see, I think that peace means different things to different people, but it almost always encompasses a sense of feeling at ease, safe, and secure. Nelson Mandela said, "We owe our children, the most vulnerable citizens in society, a life free from violence and fear." When my dad left his office to walk home 40 years ago, he was not safe and secure from violence. When hundreds of Americans woke up to go to work at the World Trade Center on September 11th, 2001, they were not safe and secure from violence. The truth is, as Dr. Oscar Arias, the former president of Costa Rica and Nobel Peace Laureate, told the audience of several thousand at the recent Rotary International Convention in Sao Paulo, Brazil. We will not secure security for our own people until we secure security for all people. Because life is not just about us. We're part of a family, we're part of a community, we're part of a global community. And we as Rotarians reach out to serve others, to overcome obstacles, to develop peace and prosperity in far corners of the world where it is needed most, and to achieve the Rotary mission of worldwide understanding, goodwill, and peace. And I believe that the true legacy of Rotary will not be to eradicate polio, although we will surely do that, and in the very, very near future. But I believe that the true legacy of Rotary will be to develop a more peaceful world. Piece by piece, community by community, and country by country. So in the year ahead, I hope that you will join with me in creating that legacy. I hope you'll wear your little white peace dove pin. I hope you'll do a peace project this year and many more peace projects in the years to come. And most of all, I hope that from this very day forward, you will think of yourself as a Rotary peace builder. We Rotarians hold the power to change the world. Let's go out and do it. Thank you very much.
We have lots of time for questions.
Okay. Yes.
Is there any possibility that there will be visitors from i.e. North Korea and Iran? Will they be in attendance and will they get the message?
In attendance at events in this district. Well, we're putting together the speakers from the World Peace Conference. I think the people you're talking about, we are reaching out to them, and one of the things that Rotary does an amazing job of this, of reaching out to those people. In fact, I was at Rotary Day at the United Nations 2 years ago in 2013, and I learned two things. I learned that to create peace in the world, we have to eradicate conditions that lead to conflict and violence, things like poverty and disease and abuse of human rights. But we also have to develop peace builders and send peace builders around the world. That's why I'm such a strong proponent of the Rotary Peace Program. So the interesting thing about Rotary, we have a unique relationship with organizations like the United Nations and UNESCO, but because many of those organizations are viewed as being affiliated with the government or a political frame of thought. And Rotary, as you all know, is a non-religious, non-governmental, non-political organization. And so when those organizations have an initiative, they often come to Rotary to help implement those initiatives. And just as an example, in the effort to eradicate polio, it was Rotary, not the World Health Organization, not the United Nations, but it was Rotary that was given a letter by the head of the Afghani government enabling us to go into the far corners of Afghanistan where the Taliban is to deliver the polio vaccine. And by doing that, we are opening up avenues. We're not only delivering the polio vaccine and overcoming disease, but we're opening up new avenues where we can have communication with the very individuals who have been creating conflict and violence.
Thank you. I didn't mean to throw such a tough question at you, but,
That's okay.
you know, we could talk all day long about
Yeah.
these, and the other guys, so meantime, will be building nuclear weapons and,
Right.
you know, the rest of the
Right.
scenario.
Yeah. It's, you know, I mean, it's a big mission that we have taken on. It's a big mission that we have taken on, and it's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to happen step by step. But that's how great things are done, step by step. Other questions? I'm here, you got me, so go for it. Anything? Yes, Mike?
I think Richard asked me when we were driving here in the car, how's the district doing as a whole, club-wise?
Our district is doing great. I am so proud of our district. I mean, it's a struggle bringing new members in and kind of changing the demographics of clubs, particularly in North America. North America has been struggling. Other areas of the world have been growing more, Asia and South America, but it's been a struggle in North America. However, our district, well, first of all, the West Coast, I think, is leading the rest of the country. And our district in the West Coast is very much viewed as a leader. We have started already 2 new young professional clubs that were started basically using social media and attracting young people to events. One, the San Francisco Evening Club, and one in Marin County, the San Rafael Evening Club. And they are being used as models to teach other districts and to teach other clubs in our district the kinds of strategies that really seem to work to attract new members in. And we'll be participating in a Young Professional Summit at the end of the month. We have several individuals from our district participating in that, where we will actually be sharing some of our experiences with other districts. So I think we're doing well. It's, you know, we have to continue to learn and be open-minded. And Dick was saying earlier, when he was district governor, you know, the thing you hear over and over again is, well, we've never done it that way. That's, you know, not the way we do it. And we have to change that. We have to be customer-oriented, and we have to open up our minds and thinking to different ideas.
Governor,
Yes, sir.
we welcome your comments today. In part, in furtherance of what you were saying, and in part, some of your what you told us about last night, could you briefly address some of the expansion in our district, the new clubs, and particularly, I'm curious about we have this big influx of tech people in the Bay Area, in San Francisco in particular. They don't have a reputation for participation in things like Rotary. Are we appealing to them? Are we getting people from the tech community into Rotary?
A little bit, and I think we can do much more. And that's I mean, it's an interesting challenge that we have to deal with. As I said, we have started 2 new clubs, and the way both of these clubs got started was by young people, and there are several information technology people who are part of these clubs. They advertise, well, the clubs only meet twice a month, and then they have a fellowship once a month, and they have a service project once a month. And they meet in the evening, and it's typically hors d'oeuvres for $10 at a bar. That's a cash-only bar. And And so they'll have a program a couple of times. And they advertise their program, they advertise their fellowship event, they advertise their service project on social media sites like meetup.com and Up and Out San Francisco. And they don't say it's a Rotary event. They just advertise, what it is. And young people who are signed up for these social media sites get these emails weekly saying, here's a bunch of events going on, and they'll see something that interests them and they'll go and show up, and lo and behold, find out it's a Rotary meeting. So, so that's how the San Francisco Evening Club started doing that, and within the first year they chartered with 30 members, and they're now up to 60 members. And the San Rafael Club did the same thing just a year ago, and they're now close to 50 members. So that model seems to be working, and we're learning the criteria that really enable a club to charter and be strong and continue. We did try doing a similar club in the peninsula. It was going to be called the Mid-Peninsula Evening Club, and it didn't work out. And I think a couple of the reasons that it didn't work out was, one, it didn't have a leader. A club that is getting ready to charter needs somebody who is really willing to serve as the charter president and be the forceful driver and organizer of everyone. And secondly, they weren't associated with any community at all. It was kind of amorphous as to where they were going to be located. And I think that it's very valuable to be associated with a community. So we're going to try again. We are going to try again. It won't be a lunch club, I can tell you that, because the people who work, at these high-tech firms, if you've ever visited any of these firms, you go in, and they have a cafeteria that is like to die for. It's like the best restaurant in the world, and nobody wants to leave there to go to lunch somewhere else. So it will be more likely to be probably an evening club or a breakfast club. But we will try again.
Good.
All right. Well, thank you again so much for having me here and for the warm welcome. And I look forward to staying in touch. You have my name and contact information in the brochure. And if you have any questions, of course, Glenn is here. He's your first point of contact as your assistant governor. But I am always here as well. So I look forward to seeing you and to coming to some of your events. Thank you very much.